So Gareth, the plastic surgeon, just came round and he gave really good news, which was they took out the bit of invasive cancer, which was over here, quite high up, and they now have virtually taken out all breast tissue, which means if they normally take out breast tissue during a mastectomy, they can leave behind 1 to 3% of it. And he said in my case, because there was so little to start off with, they have virtually taken out 99% of it. So the chance of recurrence is so minute that I'm ecstatic. The other thing that he said is on the skin, they didn't need to take much or any much, Glenn? None on the skin. So I don't have a scar on the skin, it's more in the pec muscle, and because the pec muscle over here is quite thick, he could go down into it without it thinning the muscle out too much, which is very, very encouraging as well. And he's done a neat little surgical stitch. So he's ducked down into the pec muscle, cut the cancer out, and he says it's gone. On Monday, when Carol Ben injected, when she operated and then injected into this area where the cancer was, blue dye so that it would drain into the lymphatic system under my arm, and she'd be able to see where this area was draining. There was only one lymph node that had a bit of blue dye in it, so they've only removed that lymph node, which I'm very relieved about, that they haven't taken more to have tested, because your lymph pumps the fluid up out of your arm continuously as your muscles press against it. And if you don't have a lymph node here, the fluid can start to build up, and you can either end up with swelling problems or pain, and you've actually got to milk it once or twice a day to actually move that fluid back up into general circulation. So I'm very, very relieved. Those lymph nodes, or that lymph node, has now been sent away, and we'll get the results of that tomorrow. And Gareth is very confident that they are cancer-free and that there's nothing in them, which I'm just so holding on to, because that is great. And the last thing is that the nature of the bit of invasive cancer, the test to show what type of personality it will have, will only come back, the results will only come back next week. So at this point, we don't know how estrogen sensitive it is, etc., etc. So I can't comment on that. But at this point, all the cancer is out of my body, which I'm just, yes, yes, yes. Cool. I'm just so happy.